Well, friends, here is the after.
You can see the before. It was a very bland white door that led to the closet, very functional, but really not very modern or not very exciting. Putting another door there that was barn style, sliding bar style, wouldn't work because we wouldn't be able to have them open at the same time. We wanted something that would allow us to keep the door to the bathroom open and the door to the closet open. So our solution was this sliding open barn door you see now.
We have removed the white door and we have, you want to pan between the two doors? They're similar style, shape, size.
To say it is easier to make a longer board shorter than a shorter board longer, so we need to cut about half an inch off our door because we are having a hard time hanging it in its appropriate space. It is just too long, even though our measurements tell us we were correct, right? I mean, we double measure, we don't know why, but clearly it is a little too long, so we're going to make it a little shorter. There is no argument that the track saw is the best tool for this specific job. Even if you have a cabinet saw, this will be a hard job by one person, whereas the track saw make it a very easy, very efficient and very fun cut. It's also very clean and really you can do it with one person without any difficulty. Sometimes having the right tool for the job is all it takes.
Excellent.
So you see how well the tape trick does. I don't know if you remember from before when we were cutting it, we needed to do a lot of sanding to have a very nice smooth edge, and here we really have zero problems, right? If this was an exterior door, you will want to finish the underside. As you see, we have not done any finish on the other side to protect our carpet. And this is exactly what we were hoping. When you're at a distance, the doors look identical and that door looks like a single door. It doesn't look like a bifold. So this is the look we're going for. It worked out very, very well. We're very pleased. This was a frustrating fun project, primarily because of the kit we purchased that I do not recommend. I will put details on the kit below. It works, but it's really, really finicky.
The build went pretty well overall, but the kit we bought was just horrible. The kit has no distinct name on it, unfortunately. There is no name anywhere, because if it did, I would tell you do not buy this kit, right? It was a horrific experience. What do you think, Miss DIY?
Well, the instructions
Yeah.
are not good. It's just pictures, and it's very difficult to understand how the parts fit together.
Especially because some of the pictures are quite small, and they did not do a good job of like giving you a blow up of what they're talking about.
Right. And the sequence is off, was not, but the outcome, the doors match pretty well. What do you think, Mrs. DIY? Yeah. And overall, we're very, very pleased with it.
So if you want to buy another kit and try your luck with it, that would be great. So here we are. The door is finished.
Oh no, the mess! You're showing our mess.
And the best part, right?
Yep.
We can have both doors open at the same time.
Yep.
Okay. So the magic is happening because of this mechanism, right? Mm-hmm. Can we see that both slides and rotates? Mm-hmm. And that's what makes this door work the way it does, right?
Right.
Now, hanging the door requires a lot of patience and was really harder for us, but we believe it was primarily because we did not have a very good kit. We bought a reasonably cheap kit, which usually I avoid doing, but in this instance we pay for it because it took us much longer to hang the door than it did to build it. So here we are. This is exactly how we envision it to be, right? Mm-hmm. And because we matched the color, as you noticed in the last episode, we took a lot of care to match the color of the two doors. They look exactly the same, and this, when closed, looks like a single door, right? Mm-hmm. You could make it look like two doors, but for our look, we wanted it to look like a single door. Overall, what did we learn in this build?
The kit you get makes a difference.
The kit sucks, and I
Pay a
will put
little
it.
bit more for instructions.
Yes.
Well, but you don't know. That's the thing. You don't know when you buy them.
Right.
It would be nice if they had a PDF and you can read it, right? But I definitely think the only difficulties we have were relating to the kit. Mm-hmm. And then as towards the last part of the last film, we got kind of frustrated.
We were tired because we've been working for a long time.
Because when we addressed this, it took less than an hour, right? And the door was hung with no problems. Now we have a mystery. Our measurements don't make sense with the fact that we had to cut the door a little bit. we cannot really figure that out. This is a total mystery, because when we measure it again, the length width of the door was correct, but still it wouldn't work unless we removed about half an inch.
Right.
Other than that, I don't know if the lesson there is make your door half an inch shorter. I mean, we didn't want to have a big gap there. That's why we did it the way we did. But you see, even when it folds now, there is a very nice, I mean, this works very nice.
Yep.
And I will probably put magnets in the back, so when it comes open, open will stay. It will attach one to the other, so it will be easier not to slowly slide by itself closed. We might not. Mrs. DIY doesn't seem to like this idea.
Okay.
All right, folks, this is our project for today. Last week we saw you how to build this wonderful door. And this week we saw you how to hang it. So next week we're going to have something different for you.
So something we wanted to talk about the differences here for this one, because the door slides back and forth to the right or to the left. These actually have something called a stopper, so it doesn't come off of your rail. Now this, because it's a different design, has something that immobilizes this side of the door. And I'm going to see if I can get in here very well. You can see it's got just a little bit of an extra piece of metal here. There is an Allen bolt that goes through both this front bracket as well as that. It goes all the way through and goes tight against your rail, and then it has a top bolt. Now,
And so we saw it. The door rotates but does not move, right?
right, right.
And the reason you have sliders on both is because you can switch which side.
Right, so this one, if you wanted the door to open in that direction instead of this direction, this stopper could go to the other side. Now the other side just has one that helps it stay on the rail, but still allows that movement.
I don't know, can you see it?
We can't see the actual, yeah, we can. We can actually see the piece. So it just
you
helps.
can see it rotates,
Yeah.
but doesn't allow the door to move up by accident
Right,
and come
so
off the...
stay right there because my finger's on it. So that little piece where you're seeing the air, that's the little piece that comes in, and again, it's got the nut that holds on to the front and that Allen bolt that goes through both. That helps that stay on the track, but it still allows for that rotation.
And since we talk about negative a lot about the kit, a nice detail was that they had cups.
Yeah.
So,
So these are some of the pieces we were struggling with in particular because the pictures were about that big.
and no directions, no
They
walls.
didn't have any blow-ups. You just had a series of pictures that kind of showed you this. So we had to take some time to figure those out. Once we did, they make sense. But until you know them, they don't really. But again, if you want it to rotate in the other direction or open the other direction, this stopper one can be applied to the other side. Okay?
Okay.
Okie dokie.
And now the view from inside the closet. Elpida, come out of the closet. So one of the questions one might ask is why we couldn't have this as a sliding door, right? And technically we could, but when this door is open, this door would not be open. And one of the problems we wanted to go away were this situation where one door is open, the other cannot be open, right?
Right.
So you could have an extension. In fact, you could have only one rail and have two doors there.
Right.
But the problem we have is we want it to be independent. So even when this door is open, there is no problem. You see?
Right, it doesn't interfere.
Right, and that's why we needed to find a solution. And this is a very good solution, especially if you have a small house, an apartment or something like that, right? A small closet.
Right. Like that would have been a great solution from the hall closet in the Blueberry that I used to have.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, this project would not have been possible because if it was not for one of our very crude builds, which is the 4x4 step ladder, right?
That's not 4x. That's
A
2
2
by
by,
2
yeah.
by 4. 2x4 step we built way back in the day, in the early days of moving out to North Carolina.
Yeah, and we built it actually to make the wall. Remember the wall? And
No. It was in the first apartment.
was it?
Yep.
Okay.
Sure was.
But that's to show you don't have to do something really sexy. This was a fast build and we've been using it very routinely, right?
Oh yeah, all the time.
And with the lumber prices back then, that was a couple of dollars.
Yep.
That was not even a 2x4. So we hope you enjoyed this episode. This is one of our rare two episode builds. From Professor DIY, Mrs. DIY, and Elpida, let's build something together.